I've always heard about great games between Air Force and Wyoming, and this certainly was one of those. It was a hard-fought game, lots of ebbs and flows during the course of the game, and we're really pleased that we won. I think it's building a lot of momentum for our players to keep believing in the system and keep trucking along, never giving up. We've got room for improvement without question, but we're going to enjoy this win. This was a hard-fought win over a very good program. So at this time, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
Craig, talk about that last drive. I know offensively it was kind of a struggle, especially running the ball, but what clicked and what did you necessarily see from Colby where he really put an impressive drive together there?
Well, first of all, I thought our offensive line did a nice job with protection, and Coach Vegan did a masterful job of putting them in and out of some really good play selections. And then typically, as the game goes along, it's always tougher for a defensive lineman to generate some pass rush. And so we made some plays. We knew we were going to be in consistent four-down territory there, and we leveraged it right to the last deal and came up with the bootleg for the touchdown. And so we had one drive left in us, and we needed every bit of that drive.
Do you feel Colby grew up in that last drive a little bit, considering his inexperience?
For an older guy, he certainly did. Those are hard things to do, and so we'll build on that confidence. This is going to be a great momentum builder for us and for him personally.
But the defense, Craig, I mean, you've said you're going to leverage your defense, and, Air Force gets their thing. They came out throwing on you quite a bit, but you were able to hang in there and get stops and get a turnover for the first time this season. So I imagine you got to be pleased with the way your defense played tonight.
This offense is a prolific offense that poses all kinds of challenges, and our defensive staff and the players really bought in. Now, Air Force had us on the run a little bit. But we did not give up any big plays tonight. Maybe there was something like 20 yards, but you can make them go the long, hard way and come up with a couple stops here and there, which we did. And so we're well pleased. Anytime you hold that point total down, your opportunities for wins go way up.
Coach, J.D. Carrill was a guy who last year didn't have a single catch, and now he's had 3 in a couple of games and some big ones, obviously.
Yeah.
Just how capable is he, and how good was it to see him make that catch?
Well, it was a big-time catch, and it's going to be one that I'll always remember, and I imagine he will as well. And, in our offense, we utilize the tight ends a lot in a pro-style offense, and so it's been good to have him here, and he's been certainly a pleasant surprise, and we've utilized his skill set, and tonight was a great case for that.
Craig, were you surprised that you knew that Pearson could throw the ball? I know they didn't show it a lot in their first game, but were you surprised as much and as well as they threw on you, especially early?
I was not surprised. I know they had talked about his throwing ability. He threw the ball a little bit against Nichols, but really didn't need to. And tonight, they started out and they hit a couple of hitches. We didn't tackle particularly well at the corner position. We hadn't tackled well in the first game, and obviously they picked up on that. And so we had to change up some coverages, and I think once we did that, that certainly helped because early in the game they had us on the run.
What were they able to do to stop or slow down your running game, which was so effective against Montana? It looked like they were throwing a lot of guys into the box trying to stuff it.
Well, some of it, they were slipping some blocks up in front. Some of it's 3-4. We knew that was going to come into play, and I thought their defensive line also did a nice job. And we knew they were going to load the box, and what we were going to have to do is connect on some plays. We had a couple big plays, and that certainly, in the passing game, that certainly opened the game up.
What about your run defense, Coach? Obviously, you're not going to shut down a team like that, but you were able to slow them down enough?
Let's be in discipline, and you're right. You're not going to just wishbone offense. They're going to be able to move the ball some, and so what you try to do is just prevent big plays. The next play's ours. Keep on hanging in there, gang tackle, and that's what we did tonight. And that game came down to one last possession, and we were on the right side of the ledger.
Craig, the bootleg call on third down was that Rand's, or was that yours with the timeout, or?
That was Coach Vegan's.
Yeah.
Believe me, there's very few offensive plays that I call around this place, and Coach Vegan's been doing that for a long time. He's got ice water running through his veins. I mean, he's 3 plays ahead, and so we were all set on that.
Did you say was it going to be 4 down? If you didn't got it, would you have gone for it on 4th down, or would you gone for overtime? Or
we'll let that be determined by another day.
How big was Jordan Stanton tonight? It seemed like he was all over the place, had a sack, just was all over the ball.
He had a big play, and I think he was the guy that forced the fumble too, which was a huge play at that time, and I think it really gave a spark to our whole football team.
Craig, what happened there? I think it was in the second half where it was 4th down and short for you. You tried to get up to the line fast to get a playoff or something. The referee stepped in, and then I could see you get pretty animated.
I was pretty animated. I was not saying more brownies and fairies right at that time. It was a play that we had called, and the official ruled that they needed to stop play, and that's about all I can say about it.
No one's waiting there.
Sure. Well, a couple of things. We've been behind at halftime twice now, and once again, I thought our players adjusted, but it wasn't like we came out and just played completely clean. I think what was so telling about this win was you had to drive a long ways and score a touchdown, and then on defense you had to keep them out of the end zone, and we were able to do that. And I think it builds a tremendous amount of confidence that guys are buying into the system. They're playing hard. They're believing in what we're doing. We're certainly not playing perfect, but there's no quitting. And the more that they can experience those experiences, the harder it is for us to ever have a chance to quit. We'll keep on plugging along.
Any early thoughts on Oregon? You worry about that tomorrow?
No. I want to enjoy tonight.